Thank you.
You're beautiful, you're handsome, you look wonderful. You're beautiful. Mr. President, let me just say that I'm delighted, very happy, and very pleased to be here. Mr. Mayor, good to see you. Thank you for letting me come to your city. And thank you, Chief. And let me thank my colleague, wonderful young man, Patrick Murphy, for all that you're doing. Thank you for your leadership, for your vision, your dedication, your commitment. Now, I didn't grow up in a very big city. I grew up in rural Alabama, 50 miles from Montgomery, outside of a little place called Troy. When I was growing up, I saw those signs that said white men, colored men, white women, colored women, white waiting, colored waiting. I would ask my mother, my father, my grandparents, my great-grandparents, why? And they would say, that's the way it is. Don't get in the way, don't get in trouble. But when I was 15 years old, I heard of Rosa Parks.
All right.
I heard of Martin Luther King Jr.
All right.
I met Rosa Parks when I was 17. I met Martin Luther King Jr. at the age of 18. And I got involved in American Civil Rights Movement. I got in the way. I got in trouble. Good trouble, necessary trouble.
All right.
So sometimes when you see something that is not right, not fair, not just, you have to stand up.
That's right.
Speak up and speak out and make a little noise.
That's right. That's what I do.
Many, many years ago when I had all of my hair and a few pounds lighter, I participated in the March on Washington on August 28, 1963. I was the youngest speaker. And out of the 10 people that spoke that day, I'm the only one still around.
Wow.
Dr. King spoke number 10, I spoke number 6. And when the March on Washington was all over, President Kennedy invited us down to the White House. He stood in the door of the Oval Office, greeting each one of us. He said, you did a good job, you did a good job. But when it got to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., he said, you did a good job. And you had a dream. There was so much hope, so much optimism. But there are forces in America today that want to take us back to another period.
Come on.
And we're not going back. We're going forward. We're going forward.
Don't let nobody
So
tell
it
me
doesn't matter whether we're black, white, Latino, Asian American, or Native American. We are one people, we are one family, we all live in the same house, the American house. The late April Randolph, who was born in Jacksonville, Florida, moved to New York and became a champion of civil rights, human rights, and labor rights. When we were planning the March on Washington, he kept saying, maybe our foremothers and our forefathers all came to this great land in different ships, but we all lay in the same boat now.
That's
That's
right.
right.
We must look out for each other.
That's right.
Now, some of you know, a few short years ago, in the 11 states of the old Confederacy, it was very hard, difficult, and almost impossible for some of our people to register to vote.
That's right.
Yes.
Some people were asked to count the number of bubbles in a bar of soap,
That's right.
the number of jelly beans in a jar. There were African American lawyers and doctors and teachers, college professors were told they could not read or write well enough.
No more.
3 young men that I knew, Andy Goodman, Nicky Schreiner, and James Training,
That's right.
went out on a summer night of June 21st, 1964, near Philadelphia, Mississippi. They were stopped by the sheriff, put in jail, and later that evening they were taken out of jail, turned over to the Klan, where they were beaten, shot, murdered. These 3 young men didn't die in Vietnam. They didn't die in the Middle East. Didn't die in Central or South America. They died right here in our own country. A little more than 50 years ago, some of us led a march. A young man by the name of Jose Williams. The 2 of us led a march across the Edmund Pettus Bridge. And I thought about that bridge as we walked across this bridge. We were going to walk 50 miles from Selma to Montgomery. And the major the Alabama State Trooper said, "This is an unlawful march. You will not be allowed to continue. I give you 3 minutes to disperse and return to your homes or to your church." And Jose said, "Major, give us a moment to kneel and pray." He said, "Troopers, advance." I said, "Major, may I have a word?" He said, "That would be no word."
My Lord.
You saw the men putting on their gas masks. They came toward us, beating us with nightsticks, bull whips, and trampling us with horses.
No more.
I was the first one to be hit. Had a concussion at the bridge. I thought I saw death.
My Lord.
I thought I was going to die on that bridge. But God Almighty kept me here.
Amen.
To live to see the first African American become president of the United States. Now, I have to say to each one of us, and especially students and young people, we got to turn out and vote like we never voted before.
That's right.
We cannot stay home.
That's right.
We have to vote.
That's right.
Everything is on the table.
Yes.
It's online. This election can determine the future of America or the future of the planet.
Talk, sir.
We have a right to know what is in the food we eat,
Yes.
what is in the water we drink,
Yes.
what is in the air we breathe.
Yes.
The vote controls everything we do from the time that we're born until the time we leave this little piece of real estate we call Earth.
Yes, it does.
The only thing I did, I gave a little blood on that bridge. But other people gave their lives.
Yeah.
So I beg of you, for the sake of our country and for the people here in our country and people around the world, we have to do it.
Yes, sir.
I don't want any of us to be sad a week from today, or crying. I said, "Oh, I should have gone." Just go and do it.
That's right.
Call your mothers and fathers, your grandparents and great-grandparents, your sisters and brothers, your teachers, everybody, your friends, your loved ones, and tell them to vote. Because the vote is powerful. It is precious. It's almost sacred. So let's do it. A few days ago, I was in Rochester, New York. And we were beaten and left bloody on the bridge. A group of nuns took care of us at the Good Samaritan Hospital. I went back to Rochester and met 3 other nuns for the first time in more than 50 years that took care of us.
Yeah.
And I tell you, they hugged me, they called me John, I call them sisters. We hug and we cry. I don't want us to be crying Tuesday night or Wednesday morning. When President Obama was elected, I was speaking in Dr. King's Ebenezer Church, and I noticed on a big screen that Ohio and Pennsylvania going for the president. I jumped so high, I didn't think my feet were going to touch the floor. So I started crying, and I cried. Several news people asked me if I was crying so much. I said, "Well, the tears are happy." Yes. Tears of joy. They said, "What are you going to do when he's inaugurated? You're crying so much tonight." I said, "If I have any tears left, I'm going to cry some more." And that's what I did. I want our tears to be tears of happiness.
Yes.
Tears of joy.
Yes.
There's no tomorrow. We got to do it now.
Now.
Go out and vote like we never voted before. Can we do it?
Yes.
Let's do it. Thank you very much.